Hey guys, I'm Kalpit Veerwal and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to discuss a very important issue which is probably the most requested video on my channel. Many people have messaged me on Instagram and all my social media that how do you manage all of your stuff which you do. That is, it's very publicly visible that I do a lot of stuff. I'm enrolled in an engineering college, I maintain a YouTube channel, and I'm also a part of many other ventures like my blog, my Cat Boost. The links of all of these things can be checked in the description section. You can check out all my social handles in the description section. So let's begin the video. So the thing which is the crux of this video is balancing your day, balancing your life with all the activities which one person would do normally in his or her life. So let's talk about the first point, which is time division. So a normal person in his or her life has got three kinds of activities. The first activities are those activities which you have to do. That is, it could be your job, it could be your school, it could be your coaching class, it could be your college. So these are the things which you have to do. You cannot leave them. Whether it's right or wrong is a different debate. I'm just telling you the facts today. So that is the first kind of activities. The second type of activities are those activities which you really want to do. These could be your hobbies, these could be your passions, your interests, anything. So let's talk about, say, me. So my hobbies, my passions, my ambitions are to first of all, run this channel. Then I'm also interested in blogging and writing on Quora and all of that. And my passions are starting my own business and running my own ventures. So for you, it could be say singing, dancing, cricket, your own business, writing, anything. Playing PUBG, spending mindless amount of time on social media or random texting, or it could be anything of those things. So the first tip out of the three tips which I'm going to give you today is to give a good amount of time to all three activities appropriate to what they deserve. So let's talk about the third kind of activity. So let us all agree that we should try to be as minimalistic as possible on wasting time on these things, that is on social media, random texting, or just spending time on the internet with no meaning at all. It could be PUBG and all of that. So for these things I have made a separate video on how to avoid these distractions, especially due to mobile phone. You can check those videos out on the description and in the YouTube card which is showing here. So here's a card, you can just click on that and you will get access to a video which will show you a complete way of removing these distractions from your life. So that is one thing about dividing your time between these three activities. So just watch the video and the first part is more or less done. Now comes the second part, which is related to dividing time between these two activities, dividing time between what you want to do and what you have to do. So that's where the second point comes, that you have to decide a trade-off point, a cut-off point. What I mean by that is that most people today do not realize this concept of a trade-off point. So you cannot achieve the best of both worlds in real life or practically. So what I'm talking about is, for example, a person cannot aim to work 12 hours a day on his or her job and also expect that he will also go to yoga classes, she will also meditate, she will also go to the gym, she will also play guitar. You cannot do that because you have a limited amount of time on your hand. For JEE, or I will top my college, top my university, but at the same time I will also do these things. He or she cannot then run a business or write or poetry, and all of that is not really possible. You have to trade off between these two things, and this is one thing which many people do not realize today. They just keep on looking at extreme kind of people, the one kind who put all of their time in academics, put all of their times into one activity only and end up achieving excellence in that. For example, if you look at the say any topper of any examination or anything, then he or she will only be studying, he or she will not be doing any other activities, and they become sad saying his marks. But what they do not realize is that that guy is not doing anything else while they are doing a lot of other things as well. Now they look at the other kind of extreme as well. They look at people who are doing all kinds of dance, music, poetry, running successful business, but they do not have those marks. Now at that guy they look and they think he has got all of that extracurricular things, he's so famous and I'm not. But you're not looking at the fact that he or she has made a trade-off with these things. So that's what the point or the concept of trade-off point is, that there is a middle ground between these two things, and that is the best position for everyone. Like you cannot, unless it's your choice, you have to decide whether you want to do this path or you want to do this path, right? You have to decide what combination of these is satisfying to you. That is one thing which you have to decide. I cannot tell you, nor can anyone else. You have to decide what amount of this am I willing to sacrifice in order to pursue my dreams or my passions. So for example, if you're a college student, then you have to decide a trade-off or cut-off point key at this amount of mark, at this amount of, say, it could be anything, your work experience, your grades or anything. At this amount of grade, I will be okay. Fool yourself saying कि मैं तो other चीजें करूँगा and I will not put time to study and I will put that time into other things. उस other time में you end up playing PUBG or you end up wasting it. That is one thing you should never ever do with your life, right? That is fooling yourself. You do not have to convince the whole world. The whole world is never going to be with you. You just have to convince yourself. Just ask your inner heart कि यार भाई ये जो कर रहा हूँ, is that correct? Is that the correct way to go? वो आपको खुद बता देगा कि bro तो सही जा रहा है, bro you are wrong, right? You will get an inner sense that this cutoff is good for me. कि भाई I have to maintain an 8.5 GPA in my college and बाकी time में मुझे ये चीज़ करना है, मैं ये करूँगा, ठीक है? It will tell you inside. और ऐसी you cannot. So the point of this point is that you cannot really achieve the best of both worlds. Decide करो कि what is your cutoff point. At what point are you happy कि भाई इतना कर लूँगा, I will be happy, right? And work according to that. ऐसा ये मत रखो कि मैं ये भी कर लूँगा, वो भी कर लूँगा. That never happens. So that was the whole point. I have set a cutoff point for myself that I have to keep this much amount of academic performance, and in the other time I have to maintain my other skills, right? And ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि you set that cutoff point too low or too high. That is very bad for you, right? You have to decide it in a way that if you end up not doing well in your other things, you are still safe and secure, right? And that middle ground exists. You just have to find it for yourself, right? So that was the second point. And the third point, which is very, very important and yet many people do not realize it, is that you have to identify your limits and your abilities. So this happens with a lot of people who I know that they become too overconfident of them in college. I can run this channel and I can also run a few other ventures. Now if I want to add another activity to this, it's not possible because a person has only got 24 hours. I only have this much or so much amount of capability inside me, or the ability of doing simultaneous work, multitasking. I've got only a finite amount of that. No one has an infinite amount. So identify that for yourself. It should not happen कि यार भाई कॉलेज में भी फेल हो रहे हैं and then you सोच के यार अब तो मैं सिंगिंग भी करूँगा. ऐसा नहीं होता है. यहाँ पर डिसाइड कि यार इसमें मैं कितने लेवल कितना टाइम देके मैं इसको बैलेंस कर पा रहा हूँ. Just decide your limit. Know your identify your abilities and know your limits. What your limits are. This is very important, not just in academics but in life as well. I have myself realized this a lot, and I have myself seen a lot of people, who couldn't do well because of this. And whenever I adopted this strategy of knowing my own, identifying my own limits, it makes you humble. It makes you realize what your potential is and what your mistakes could be in the future. So that's one thing which I really advocate, that discover what your inner limits are and work according to that. So I will just summarize this video real quick for all of you guys. First point which I told you was to limit your time into these three activities. Divide it properly. You can watch my video on distractions on how to limit the time which you spend on the non-productive activities, which is required to an extent. Entertainment is good to an extent, but not more than that. So that's one thing which you have to do. Then you have to decide what cutoff or what trade-off are you able to make between these two activities, things which you have to do, things which you want to do. Are you more appropriate for a 14-hour job and not doing anything else, or are you more appropriate you take a less salary, not really related to your finances or not really related to your academics? It could be anything, right? So you have to decide the cutoff. Do not let others decide that for you. You have to decide. You have to take that call here. मुझे सच में क्या करना है, because you are the one who is going to live his or her life, not anyone else. Discuss it with the family members as well and your loved ones. But do not, get restricted because of dogmatic views of others. They do not really matter. And the third thing which I would like to tell to everyone, the third thing which I told you was that you have to identify your limits and work according to that. Do not stretch your limits. ऐसा नहीं करना कि यार अपने limits बहुत ज़्यादा extend कर दी and you put up goals for yourself which you cannot achieve. That is a very bad thing to do. So those are the ways in which I balance my own life, the activities which I do. First of all, I put up a whole, a check on myself कि I'm not wasting time on unproductive things, because that itself opens up a lot of door for other things. ठीक है, एक बार वो साइड में हो गया, like I spend a very little amount of time on my phone other than what is required. Then I put up a cutoff for myself कि यार this much amount of time I will put into academics at my college, and I put that religiously. ऐसा नहीं कि इस टाइम को वेस्ट करके कुछ और कर रहे हैं. And this amount of time I'm willing to put on my channel or on my blog or on my other ventures, right? And then I identified my limits कि यार इससे ज़्यादा काम I will not be able to do. So इससे बढ़िया है कि just do all these three things with efficiency. So that was the content of this video. I hope you guys really liked it. If you liked it, do press the like button. And if you're new to this channel, do consider subscribing. I make these videos on self-help, education, motivation, and on my life as a college student at IIT Bombay. So Have a nice day ahead, and thanks for watching. Bye.